Well, you see Slim is going to be pushing in pretty aggressively. Now he's got Timely's Brute set up in the middle trying to push, but he was taken down as well. So now Slim is going to have to back into a defensive position. He's charged by 2 players, and he is taken down, and that is going to be 3 down for Inferno once again, and Neighbor is going to get the flag a second time. We're seeing Neighbor play objectives here, Sundance.
This
What's
is amazing,
going on?
because normally you'd expect Neighbor to be that sneaky player, that distraction, but he's in such a great position. Oh, a little bit of a fumble there, but a great position to pull that flag because they're just out-slaying Inferno right now.
That's right, and Neighbor is taken down by Soviet. That was a huge stop. We are going to jump on board now with Legit, who just picked up a double kill with the headshot, and he put in the second cap. So
That's
Neighbor
phenomenal.
gets to the base, and Legit scores it.
Right now, Str8 Rippin looks like an inspired team, Puckett. It looks like they are not willing to sit back and let what happened in the Meadowlands happen again. They're being the aggressor. They're taking it to Inferno and trying to make a statement.
Now, one thing to note, Sundance, oh, check that out. Legit is just nasty with that sniper. One thing to note here is that Str8 Rippin has X as their coach for the first time last event. I talked to T-Squared, and he said, you know, we weren't necessarily as comfortable as we were in the past. But this event, they seem to have been working with him a lot more, much more comfortable with X, and it seems to be showing as he is commanding his troops where to go. I think he has been a big factor so far, helping them score those 2 caps.
Absolutely. It is early, Puckett, but it's about trust with your coach. If you don't know and trust your coach, if you don't feel like he understands your play style and where you want to go, you're not going to listen to him. So hopefully they learned their lesson in the Meadowlands.
Well, we are watching Soviet just single-handedly take on the Str8 Rippin team. He was taken down, Legit down as well. We're going to stay on board with Legit because I just love watching how he plays in arrows. Now, Legit, he's kind of a question mark play style-wise. Nobody really knows how to gauge him. Sometimes he's a super slayer, a supercharger. Other times, he's sneakier than Neighbor. You see, he's got one of the steadiest battle rifles in the game, but he was taken down by Soviet. We're jumping on board now with him, and Soviet is doing exactly what I expected him to, which is clean up kills and be the aggressor here for Inferno. He was finally taken down, but let's stick on board with Soviet for just a little bit longer.
Absolutely. I want to watch this kid get going. If he gets hot, he may be enough to keep Str8 Rippin at bay, to keep them from foraging across the map to go for that flag. And if he can do that, then maybe his teammates will be able to get in there and pull some flags as we saw earlier.
That's right. So Soviet being a lesser-known player on the circuit, never a flashy player, never one to brag. He never starts fights, and he's actually just a really quiet player, which some feel is his biggest drawback because he lacks the communication that some of the other top pros carry.
Absolutely, but you know what, Puckett? I have to say he's a young kid. He's still figuring it out, and he's looking at a lot of these players he's up against, and you know what? They're his heroes. He idolizes some of them. So we want to make sure that we don't forget that Soviet is a kid, but he plays like a man.
All right, well, rockets are coming up right now. Neighbor saw him spawning. He is going to be moving in. So Str8 Rippin, they got some power weapons in the hands of Neighbor and Elmite Warrior with the sniper back of his base. Neighbor is going to be the aggressor here. Push in on the Inferno spawn. They had 2 down. So Neighbor setting up top here in the attic. Gotta love this strategy. Timely's Brute is just wondering where that rocket came from. You saw Slim was looking all over, couldn't find Neighbor, and check out how sneaky he is.
I love the routes he runs. We said it before. Neighbor, a sneaky little beaver, doing his thing with rockets no less. Watch this. I'm not going to grab your flag. I'm just going to splash some rockets at you. Now I'm going to make a run for it. Love this play by Neighbor.
Well, he was distracting. 2 of his teammates are down, so smart play by Neighbor to be patient, wait on that flag. Don't try and force it. That is one of the biggest mistakes we see the amateur or younger teams on the circuit try.
You said it, Puckett. You can't, just because you're near the flag doesn't mean you need to try and pull it every time, because you can put yourself in a huge disadvantage and allow for a counter cap.
All right, well, I am watching as Slim from Inferno is trying to heat up. He's been struggling all game. Slim, the veteran on the team. He's been around since 2004 from the Halo 1 tournament. He is a familiar face here on the MLG Pro circuit, but never really got a whole lot of recognition.
Well, you know, I remember when he and T-Squared went at it in Boston for the free-for-all championship, and he was a very vocal player. He's matured a lot. His skills speak for themselves. He can carry a team, but he just needs to get on a roll. He needs to find that rhythm.
That's right, and him being a rival with T-Squared, of course, is a thing that I'd like to touch on as well. T-Squared has always been able to shut down Slim. That's got to be a frustration for him, but he is looking to come back with the vengeance. He's got a brand new lineup. This is the first time we've ever seen this Inferno lineup together. We see all 4 down. That was a huge double kill by Legit. Neighbor is going to be protecting him. Legit is going to run the flag. and T-Squared has a sniper of his own to protect. So we're going to jump on board with Legit as he is putting this one in. Str8 Rippin with an impressive performance. 3 flags, 8 minutes. That is an awesome game from Str8 Rippin.
Absolutely.
That was an impressive game. Every time I looked up at Inferno, all 4 of them were flat, and that happened several times throughout that last game. That can't be a good way to go against Str8 Rippin.
No, that was a statement right there, honestly, Aaron. And you know what? The funny thing is, it was over pretty quickly, too, if you think about it. It didn't take a lot of time for Str8 Rippin. Like I said, maybe trying to make a little bit of a statement coming off the Meadowlands, and they got to be feeling good about it right now.
All right, well, let's check out how our guys played. Legit, huge game. 3 flags, 17 kills, only 11 deaths. That's a +6 ratio. All of Str8 Rippin going positive. Big game out of T-Squared and Neighbor, also putting up 10 assists.
Str8 Rippin definitely dominating.
All right, guys, that was a heck of a match by Str8 Rippin to start things off. We're going to have Game 2 coming up, but Str8 Rippin looking dominant. I mean, every time I looked up, Inferno was flat. Let's see what happens in the next match. We'll be right back after this.